Hey, how's it going? And I know I'm talking kind of quietly, but I'll just boost up the volume. It'll make it sound like crap, but who cares? Now, what we've got here is our initial kind of run for our model here. Now, we haven't built our maker's marks actually into the outside of this yet, which is somewhat disturbing because we should have done, I just forgot, so I'm sorry about that. So, I'm going to get on with that now. It's just a way of building some plates in set by 0.02. Apply. Try and get the right areas when I'm doing this. Apply. And it's just really my way of kind of, adding extra detail to this where I need it. Okay, now I'm going to go in and select these areas that I've separated, and you can see now where the maker's mark separates them out, yeah? And I'm going to be real careful when I bevel these, otherwise I'll end up with a load of broken polygons, and we don't want broken polygons. That's where you get like verts that are crossing over. It's really messy. Okay, bevel. Now then, we can bevel inwards like that if you really want, incidentally, just to show you what it looks like. It's kind of mad. I want to bevel outwards though. So height. Actually no, I quite like that bevel in. I was going to bevel in as well. Now, as you can see, we've already got a screwed up polygon down there. Let's see if it's doing it on the other side. Not that I can see. That's our only one then. So let's just quickly cancel. And, ooh, horror. Let's have 3, select by vert, target world, blah blah, there we go. Okay. Now, put bevel back on. And, yeah, sort of, I quite like that actually, so I'm going to keep it. Okay, so we've got our maker's marks now, pushing those pieces in, and I think I'll do this one as well. Yeah, I really like that. That's surprisingly nice, and I wasn't expecting it. I'll probably do these bits as well. Okay, yeah, I like that. That's really good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to build myself some nurnies, or manual greebles, or bolts, or whatever you want to call them, and I'm going to use those to add detail to this. So the first thing I want to do is build a bevel pack. So, not a bevel pack, a detail pack. So I'm going to use auto grid in my box, and I'm going to build this kind of plate here. I'm just going to move it over here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to draw some rivet shapes onto. So, press F4 so I can see what I'm doing. First one, we're going to do a rivet head. Not very, well, quite a big one I suppose. Zoom in on that. 16 sides will be more than enough. I'm just going to decrease the height. Convert to edible poly. And I think I'll change this, actually not a rivet head, but a screw head, because I think that will look better. Yeah, it will. Okay, so bevel. There we go. And box using auto grid. There to there. Down. The art of making nurnies is a precise science. There we go. Not all the way down, just about there. Now go over here to my booleans. Compound, boolean, pick up round B. Hurrah, I've made a nurney. And of course, in the spirit of making nurnies, we now have to grab both those and do a little chamfer. A little chamfer. Little tiny chamfer. There we are. Okay. Quick sniff. Now we've got that one. Now we need a rounded head as well. That's slightly smaller than this, about half the size. So for that, I'm going to have a sphere. I'm just going to pull it out like this, and I'm going to hemisphere it to 0.5, bring the segments right down, just until we can barely tell if it's like what it is. Convert to edible poly. And we can also have a washer, just in case we need one. So for that, just a simple tube. And change the height segments to 1. And I think I want to change the size to 16 at least, possibly even 14. Convert to a little poly, and quick chamfer. Bring it in just as a small chamfer as well. There we go. There we are. So now we've got our screw head. We have our what's it called again? God, I forgot what they're called. Rivet head. I hate it when my memory goes like that suddenly. And we have a washer. So we have everything we need now in order to populate our model with more details than you can shake a stick at. Okay, now I need obviously to call my script for this now. And I'm somewhat concerned actually about the size of this piece here. It doesn't seem very big. I think I should probably scale both these up a bit because they were a little bit small. There we are. Now we can see them. There's no point having detail if you can't see them. Now I'm going to go over here to Mac script, run script, and remember, if you don't have this, have a look on the forums. There's an example one that looks very much like this one actually. Now then, what's it called again? Placement script, isn't it? Now, where did I put it? Oh, it's probably on 3D palettes actually. Oh, I remember, I keep it in the Max 6 directory. I'm just being stupid. Yeah, 3ds Max 6 scripts, examples. Here we are. Placement tool. It's the only reason I've got Max 6 still installed, to be honest. I keep meaning to just copy it across, and I always forget. Okay, source object. That's this. Objects. We've got this one, which is our screw head. This one, which is our rivet head, and this one, which is our washer. Now I'm going to move this over here, and I'm not going to bother instancing copies because we're going to add everything to it once we've done it anyway. So we're going to start with our screw head, which is like our big piece. And I'm going to use the placement tool just to like place them on this, yeah? So I'm placing them in the middle of nowhere at the moment, which isn't good. Right, so placement tool. I'm going to get in nice and close and just start. There's the screw head. Why haven't I got this selected properly? Hang on a second, I'm going to turn this off. Yeah. I want to select this. Okay, now I'm going to use the placement tool. One there. One there. One there. Just make it look as if they were kind of screwed on. And then one here. And I can rotate the screw doing it this way as well, which is useful. Now over here. Kind of bolting them in using our big screws. That one's too close. Okay. Just cancel out an expert mode. I find it distracting, to be honest. Another one here. And here. And here. And in the background you can hear my water system in my home, happily refilling things. Okay. Don't need to put any rivets up there. Really going over this, drawing in my details. Put my screws so they're nicely spaced. It's really just, you know, a matter of being patient and trying to place them as carefully as you can. Okay, so we've got our initial screws placed. Now we need to put some rivets in, so I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to use my rivet head instead. And start that in here. One. And it's too small. Turn that off for a minute. Zoom out. I think I need to reset the thing over here. So first I'm going to do an attach. I'm going to attach all the screw heads except the first one. There we go, now I can see where they are. Now over here I'm going to reset the X-forms. convert to, because I scaled those up, and so I need the placement tool to be able to see those. Right, I'm going to run my script again. There it is. Set to source, and I'm just going to pick this rivet here and just draw using that on its own. Now then, we have to assume that I'm pretty much done with this model here, so I'm going to do some attaching. And I'm going to attach this shuttle in place and this blast door at the back in place. And now I'm going to do some detailing on the blast door. So I'll get the placement tool in. And it's drawn those on its side, which doesn't make me very happy. Align objects on the y-axis to normal. It's drawn them on backwards. Okay, I'll have to do those ones in a minute, because there's something I'll sort it up there, as they say. It's okay though, I can go in here and it will place properly. It's my fault for flipping that and forgetting to reset it. So, I can do this one. And those are inverted. It just gets better by the bloody second, doesn't it? I think I'll just use the screws. There we are. At least the screw's a good, honest thing to paint with. See? Even if it is backwards. Good. I'm going to get irritated by this now because it's in backwards. Time to invert the axis on this fella. Now I'm going to use my distribution. There we are. Set this my source. I'm going to have to redo these bloody things. Oh, damn it. Right, I'm going to grab this. Shift, copy, move it over here. That wasn't a shift. There we go. Clone object. And I'm going to effect pivot only, center to object. And run my placement tool again. Isn't this exciting? Right, move this over here. Still bloody inverted. It's getting somewhat irritating, isn't it? I think I'm going to have to get physically violent with my computer any moment there. Okay, so the only option I've really got now is to just draw some more, and I'm just going to do a simple rivet head. So I'm just cylinder, bring it up like that, zoom in on it, and it's a little bit big, so I'll bring it down, convert to edible poly, there we are, control select by edge, do a little chamfer just there. Okay, this will give us a nice little rivety thing. Right. Now if I select this as source, and then use my distribution on rivet, let's see if I actually get it to work. So close. Align objects to Z-axis. At last, there we are. Right, now I'm going to go in and check these are actually drawing on the right area, which they are. Good. Right, now I can start basically on that. Trying to get them to kind of line up properly. Okay, just building our pairs of rivets around the outside here. The idea is we want it to look like it's a heavy piece of industrial machinery. I mean, you can do these as textures, by all means do. It's just my own personal preference for the way I do stuff, you know. And I'm aware that each time I'm doing this, I'm adding several polygons to our model. So by all means, if you want to save polygons, do these as textures or normal maps. Normal maps are good. We like normal maps. And over here. Another thing about this model is, even though it's more or less symmetrical, we don't want it to look symmetrical. We want it to look like, you know, an industrial object that's being dropped into place, and built obviously by people who are working on site, presumably the site engineers. Okay. There. Then in there. Like that. There we go. And here. We don't want to create too many rivets, by the way, because our model will just look silly then. Okay, pull back. Turn off the placement tool. Select this, set that as my source. Now I can place on this. On there and there. Again, we're using the kind of corner riveting method here. I'll be adding this object in just a minute as well. And here. It'll please you to know that apart from textures for this, we're just about done actually. So I will show you what it looks like stacked up, because I'm kind of curious myself actually. On paper it looks good, but obviously I'm not working on paper, I'm working in 3D. Okay, too close. There. Okay, now I can close my placement tool. Got all the pieces I want pretty much. Now I'm going to attach that. That's already attached. Just attach my rivets. There we go. Press F4, and now we've got our little escape unit here, as you can see. And I think I've got more polygons than I really wanted. 17,000. That's not too horrible, if you know what I mean. Now I'm going to make a quick stack just to see. Actually, it'd be easier if I do it this way up, then I can make sure I'm dropping it in the right area. Nine instances. There you go. And that's pretty much what an escape compound tower is going to look like. You know, people will climb down our ladders like that, load up into the escape unit as it goes. It can also be used presumably for like people being ferried into it, so they don't have to use air transport. That's pretty cool. I quite like that. Okay, let's zoom in. Okay, now with this piece being pretty much a finalised model, I'm going to save it as. Now at the moment we're inside our my tutorial area, so I'll give it a name for this and turn off caps. I always like using incremental numbering. Right, now I've finished up, I'm also going to go to File, Save As, and in here I'm going to go industrial prefabs. And inside here, I'm going to add escape unit industrial. Okay, so this is now added to the escape unit industrial. And I'll do a quick render because I quite like that. Yeah, it's pretty. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. And for my next trick, if I look in my big black book of what the heck I'm doing next. Whoops. So that was emergency evacuation. So the next one I'm doing is accommodation block 1. So I'll see you then, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.